Kingdom Millionaire Mentor, Ike Ikoku with Kingdom Millionaire Institute, here to answer the question of how to find a business coach that can keep your business in tip-top condition. You know, when the word coach comes to mind, far too often, I think most people sort of think about the competitive athletes that they've seen excel at some of the major sports and some of their favorite sports that they love to watch. Not often is the word coach oftentimes associated with business. I mean, certainly in the world in which we live in today, there's a proliferation of life coaches out there, but not nearly as many business coaches. But think about it for a second. I mean, is there any game other than the entrepreneurial game where the demands for peak performance aren't an option, but more or less a requirement? Is there any other game where the stakes are higher and failure can't even be considered to be an option? See, without the comforts of a steady paycheck, the structure of policy, procedures, and already done for you marketing, is there any other endeavor in life that has a greater demand for peak performance and for you to always be at the top of your game? See, if you agree with me that coaches are needed more in business than most other endeavors in life, then I'd like to share with you some pointers on how to find a business coach that can help keep your business in tip-top condition, as well as some things that I think you should consider. Fair enough? All right, so the first thing that I think you should take into consideration is what I would call a track record of success. You know, I'm sure that you've heard the quote that says that there's nothing worse than the blind leading the blind, right? Given we live in what's known as the information age today, it is now easier than ever to find relevant information in your search for a business coach. My preferred place to look for insights on a business coach and their track record of success is to go to LinkedIn. Not only is LinkedIn stocked with loads and loads of information on the coach's background, which is stuff that you want to find out, but you'll likely find testimonials from clients the coach has already served. And so start there in your search. The second thing that you should take into consideration is experience. And when I say experience, I would agree that there's certainly advantages that come with working with a coach who has experience in your specific niche and your industry, but don't be fooled into thinking that industry-specific experience is necessary for a successful business coaching relationship. You see, it's been my experience that I have found that there's been a lot of value and a lot of fresh perspectives that I have gained from working with coaches that I have hired who actually didn't even work in my industry or weren't even in my specific niche. And so that's a little bit counterintuitive, but there's a freshness to the approach of coaching that they bring that does not necessitate them to have actually worked in or currently be working in your specific industry. And understanding the coaching process like I do, I know that what a good coach does is they will actually pull the right answers out of their clients as they recognize that the kingdom is within them being their clients. And that as coach, they're simply there as a guide to simply point that client to the answers that lie deep within their soul that they just need help in being able to unearth. You see, this is probably a key difference between what a coach does in helping people see the answers deep within the inside of them versus what a mentor does who relies heavily on their experience and expertise to help provide answers to you. At the end of the day, what you're looking for in a coach isn't necessarily somebody with very specific industry or niche experience to whatever it is that you're doing. It's just somebody who you would consider to be a seasoned coach. And by seasoned, what I mean is someone who just doesn't bring mere academic experience to the coaching relationship, right? But someone who's actually been in business for a while. And again, that's where using platforms like LinkedIn will, and being able to look at their profiles will provide some of the necessary insights that you seek about their experience as you conduct your search. Probably the last and final thing that I think you should give a lot of consideration to is what I call value alignment. You see, in my opinion, what will tip the scales in favor of a productive and fruitful business relationship isn't necessarily going to be the coach's, track record of success or their experience. I mean, both of those are important, but more important than both of those, I believe, is what I call value alignment. And so what you want to be able to discern is, are the values of your business coach in alignment with your values? A conversation or several conversations with your business coach will afford you the opportunity to determine what their values are. Now, pay attention to this. There's what people say their values are, and then there's how people actually live out their values. So make sure whatever's been communicated to you as far as what your business's coach's value is, make sure it's in alignment with yours and that you can verify that it's in alignment with what they said. Now, here again is where having access to LinkedIn and other social media platforms can provide a way to verify that what they said to you as to what their values are consistent with what you find on their social media platforms. So as you assess their social media platforms, as you look at their posts, as you look at their commentaries, as you look at their views and the way that they conduct themselves on these platforms, has what they said to you in conversation, is that being affirmed by the way in which they conduct and carry themselves on these social media platforms? Or does it have you scratching your head wondering, is that the same person that I spoke to on the phone that I'm now seeing as I'm auditing their social media platform? I mean, that's a very, very key thing that I think you really want to hone in on, see, because the failure to get this right, to make sure that the value alignment check is in place, in my opinion, it's probably almost certain to be the death of any business coaching relationship that you might pursue. Now, if you think that there could be a good fit for me to work with you in the capacity of a business coach, then I would encourage you to check out my profile on LinkedIn. And after doing so, feel free to reach out to me and we can schedule a discovery call to see if in fact there's a good fit. I wish you well in your search.